Yo, everyone, welcome to the newest episode of the Some Ordinary Podcast. I am here with my boys in blue, Mudahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, absolute legend, and also, for the second time on the podcast, AfroSenju. You know him, you love him. He dies a lot in Elden Ring.
Thank you for having me, man. How many times you beat Elden Ring? I just want to get that off the bat. How many new game pluses are we in right now?
Oh, I beat it once, and I did everything in it, and I just started going to mods. I'm about to get into my actual second or my first new game plus run. So from there, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to beat it. Like for me, when I beat a game, I'm good for a bit, you know? I just remember retained it. I'm okay with that, you know?
You're not like, let's just dive right into new game plus and go at it.
That's not me.
Before we also go in, Oompy is also unavailable this week as well too. He is not dead. He is building a candy machine, as some of you longtime viewers might know. So he's working on that right now. He's becoming Oompa in the chocolate factory. So until all of the legal kerfuffles get out of the way, yeah, I'm talking about you, state of Texas, we will finally end up getting Oompy back.
That's why whenever there's like a food-related drama thing, we always turn to Oompy. We're like, all right, so you know the legalese behind all that food stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, pink sauce? No.
I love how he's like the Swiss Army knife of like the wildest shit that you need to know. Like, I need to know about this FDA drama. Like, what is this like obscure FDA law? And he's been so hard that it's like, oh, okay. Here's the exact like code. like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Guns and food poisoning. That's his MO.
Guns, nutrition, and like working out. That's like, is that too far off from like just the Texan lifestyle? Bro, Oompy's house was the wildest. I showed up to his house one day and it was like, you know how every YouTuber's house is messy, right? Like it has a bit of mess around it. Bro, this dude's house was the personification of the state of Texas. Like you walk in, I'm not gonna describe the outside of his house.
It's like you trip over bazookas.
I don't know if he's like, dude, not even bazookas. I walk in and it's just like, I go to his like living room and it's like, you've got 99 copies of Halo Infinite on digital. And then next to it is an MP7 with like the most illicit attachments you've ever seen. Like this dude's got like, I was like, and then like next to it, ammo boxes, fucking everything. Everyone in the house is like strapped and ready to go. I go to his bedroom and it's just like, he's got an unmagged like 1911 sitting at his like, you know that Logan Paul photo? It's like, this is what my like bedroom like table is like.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's immaculate. It's like a Pokemon card and a Desert Eagle, bro. He's got like an M1911 just sitting there. Red dot sights, no mag. It's like, I'm pulling the slide back. I'm like, what the fuck can I? I'm like, you don't even have mag in this. And then he whips out this shotgun, like an M3, and he just like unloads 12 shells out of it. I'm like, dude, what are you waiting for? Like the apocalypse to hit? I love it, dude. It's literally what my house would look like if I lived in the state of Texas. Like, just I appreciate it. You know, I'm like, this is what the man is into. He enjoys it, and I'm fucking happy for him.
That's pretty sick.
He's living his life on like Elden Ring difficulty though, like with this candy machine.
Oh, just like so, like what? I don't know any of the candy machine lore, right? Is it just like we talking gumball? We talking like actual dispensers from multiple
like
candies?
Sour candies.
So sour boy, sour strips. That's what he's like into.
Sick.
So not to be confused with the Sours NFT brand. That's a totally different thing.
Got you.
Yeah. No, but it's been a wild ride so far, and we're waiting for that whole like we're waiting for the whole thing to like basically start up so we can get like, you know, some of our like favored guests. Exactly, we can get like mega diabetes, but also our guests diabetes too by having like their own candy brand.
So we getting Boogie on the podcast for the big release, big reveal.
You guys are such that's such an asshole thing to do. No, I'm waiting. Like, dude, I'm waiting for all of it to be done with because it's like it is a effort and a half, dude. Let me tell you. But you know, he's a fucking Oompy's one of those like dudes that never sleeps, so he'll get it done. If it's one man that'll get things done, it's him. But how you been, man? What you been up to over there? Aside from like the Elden Ringing and the mods and the new game pluses that you never do.
Nah, I've been trying to just get into like some real life stuff a little bit. I went down this rabbit hole of like Turo. I don't know if you know like the car rental app where you can.
Sure.
Yeah. So I've been like very like fascinated in just because I got a car recently that I've just been putting so much time into.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I finished it, I got a Corvette, just a regular Corvette. Yeah,
Okay,
it's sick.
all right. I'm liking it. Is it the new one, like the CH?
Nah. This was right before the
They
Z06
changed
were
it.
like impossible to get, right? So like as soon as I got it, all of a sudden they're just all in stock. So I got a little bit too soon before getting the actual like better one, right?
Yeah.
But I got a Corvette and I was just immersed in it. I just kept on like modifying it. I got new exhaust. I put like carbon fiber everywhere. Then when like I beat the game, I just realized, where am I going with this? It's like, like I had like
playing some Need for Speed IRL right now, dude. Shit.
A little bit, because like I live in Miami, right? And like everybody in Miami just kind of like races or whatever if they have cars like that. So I would mess around with that until I got my first ticket. So I don't want to do that anymore, like that game's over for me. But like after like finishing the car and doing everything with it, I just didn't really know what to do with it anymore. I just kind of got bored with it. So
are you gonna rent it out on like Turo and stuff?
That's ideally what I started to do. For every time that I've rented it out, I get like $500 from it. So it just kind of made me want to go further deep into the lore. So like I got like a car with a bunch of my friends, and we just kind of making like a fleet and just we're putting a lot of time into that, and then YouTube on the side. So
that's a dope
it's pretty
business.
cool.
Yeah, I've when I was in like Dallas, somebody was doing that with like Teslas and shit. Like they were like I didn't Uber with one, and he's like, this is a Model Y, and a month later I'm gonna put it on like Turo and everything, and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty nice hustle, because I do spend a lot of like, I know when I travel like places, I go to Turo and I usually rent like a Tesla, because like whenever I go to like Los Angeles, I'm like, oh cool, let me drive one of these supercars.
That's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
When I went to LA for like my Anthony Padilla interview, I was like, okay, I'm going to LA. I don't like this place. I'll get a Porsche, on Turo for 2 days,
Yeah, I did that once I did that once. I think the worst car that you can rent is the Tesla, so I'll never rent Teslas again. So I'll never rent a Tesla again, and not because of the car, because I like a Tesla. The only reason I rent it is because that's what I drive here. So like usually it's just a comfort thing. Like I know how fast this car goes. I know the ins and outs, so like I can just quickly get in it. I feel comfy driving it, Like,
right, you're familiar with it.
Exactly. Yeah. But like I would never take it because it feels like your dad is watching you. Like, bro, I rent a car in like LA or like Texas or whatever, and I'm driving it, and like the guy is like monitoring my speed. He's like, every time I charge, like I set the fucking thing to full, like 95%, because I'm like, I gotta drive, I don't want to charge as much. Bro, the dude messages me on my app. He's like, don't do it above 75, you'll damage the battery. I went across I'm like, all right, listen, if you're gonna fucking spy on me with the mobile app, suck my
honestly, in my experience, the worst part of Turo is sometimes the person renting the car is an asshole. Like when I got to LA, it was at like 2 a.m. I go to this guy's house. All right, it was on Isis Avenue, by the way, which was terrifying. All right, so I go to Isis Avenue to pick up my Porsche. Okay, and the key is in a lockbox, and you're supposed to call him when you're there. Send a picture of you next to the car, and they'll give you the code to the lockbox. Right. The guy was sleeping. I'm standing there at 2 a.m. on Isis Avenue, and the dude's sleeping. I couldn't get into the car, So the only rational thing to do is, to take the lockbox and go 0001, 0002 until eventually, it was around 4,000 when he woke up and he was like, oh yeah, the code is 8999 or something.
That's crazy.
Oh no, dude, the one guy, he gave me a car and the fob was dead. Like the fob worked once, and I had to go he gave me like one of those like Model X fobs, like it looks like a car and shit, right? Like the actual vehicle. So I'm driving it, and then one day I sit inside, like just literally I pull over, get some food. Me and my girlfriend get back in. We're like sitting in the car. We're like, wait, key not detected. What the And so I'm messaging the guy, and he's like, bro, I picked this car up like a week ago. I'm still trying to figure it out. I'm like, dude, why did you give me a dead fob? So I'm like walking around like just in every hardware store. I'm like, do you have a specific battery? Bro, fucking Elon out there, smartest motherfucker you'll ever find. He picks the one car battery that's like the watch battery that's like impossible to find. Like I had to go to one store that was like, I custom order these all the time because people's fobs keep dying. I'm like, thank Lord for that. And then the guys messaged me like, bro, I'm really sorry, I should have checked this before. I'm like, I don't know, maybe you fucking should have. Like imagine if I went out into the middle of fucking nowhere. I'm fucked, brother. Jesus Christ. That's Turo, it's a place where you'll definitely get like some weird eccentric like you'll either find the best dude to rent off of, or you'll find like the one degenerate. Like it just doesn't care.
It's like
I've never rented a car from Turo. I've only just like been renting mine, so I don't have any experience like that. That's interesting to hear.
It's just when the inside of the car is sticky and you don't know like why. Not a good sign. Yeah.
It's like the Airbnb scams too. Like sometimes you'll run an Airbnb, it's like, damn, the price is solid, and then you'll drive into the neighborhood. Like every time I Airbnb, I always street view the location. I'm like, let's look for the crack houses in front of you. Like there's this one place, dude. So this one guy, he had like this architectural award-winning like rental home, and it looked so good, but the price was so great. It was like $400 to get this place. I'm like, damn, this is solid. And then I go to Google, I street view the area, bro. It's in front of like every checks cashed place, every like Liberty Tax Service, a crack house. I'm like,
oh my gosh,
I don't know, brother. I don't know. Your house is nice, but this is like if there was a place to get stabbed, that full London experience, that's the
where
place.
you're going.
Like the place was so ghetto, they wouldn't even shoot you over there. Like they would just like run up and stab. Like, damn, dude, this place is bad. But yeah, that was I don't know, renting places. It like I've just learned to accept that it just comes with all the cool perks and side quests. Like every time something f***s up, it's a side quest. Like that's all it is.
Yeah.
So I just don't really care too much. Like I used to be really pissed. Like there's one place I rented in LA. The pool like didn't work. Like the dude's like it was just like dead bugs and like the filtering wasn't working.
Oh, okay. So just like dirty pool.
Yeah.
Basically.
So sometimes the side quest is like you call the fucker up and then it's like, can you fix this? And then like, dude, this one time we had a few people over. I think it was above the guest limit, but it was before like 10 o'clock, so nobody could bitch at us. Bro, the guy does the stupidest, sneakiest shit. He's like, I have to pick up a package at 11:30. And I'm like, bro, just tell me you're checking on me, okay? Don't fucking lie to me and tell me you're just going to pick up a fucking package. I'm like, it's a wild story. Sometimes it's like, just get a hotel instead, dude. It's better than the fucking bullshit.
That's way better than all experiences I ever had. Because every Uber or Airbnb I've been to, I would go like for like PAX or conventions or whatever. It's like there would just be like the most weirdest complaints after. Like I never like I'll give a good response back, hoping I get good karma back, and then they'll message me saying, "Hey, you moved the chair a little too far this way. We said not to move it." There was one time where they found like a drug needle or something in the place, and they were saying that it was mine. I'm just like, bro, this has nothing to do with me. Like we can prove this however way you want. And they just said nothing back to me, but then gave a review on my account for that set needle. So like, I don't know, like my score is already too low for just my main profile for Airbnb. So I just go to hotels at this point. Cause
it's like when we get a fucking drug test or something.
Yeah. It's like, I'm saying it's like, we can go legally, we can get lie detected. Like we can do whatever you want to do, but that's not mine. Like, you know,
this video is sponsored by Raycon earbuds, a premium audio at the perfect price point. You can build great habits without breaking the bank. I walk for like an hour a day, every day. It helps me get my thoughts in order, and I use Raycons when I do it. It's an incredibly productive, efficient, and comfortable way to get things done and have a good time. Whether you're looking for a pair of everyday earbuds, low latency gaming headphones, or a speaker with a battery that will last all night at your next party, Raycon's got you covered. And yup, they are half the price of other premium audio brands. You don't even have to choose between products. You can get one of each, or a pair and a spare, and still you'd pay less than you would with some of the other guys. I personally have more than one pair of Raycons. They offer buy now, pay later options. Every purchase has an easy and free return guarantee. They have great tap functions, amazing noise isolation, and they are water and sweat resistant. Ready to buy something small with a big impact? Go to buyraycon.com/SOP today to get 15% off your Raycon order. That's buyraycon.com/SOP to score 15% off. Link in the description.
But
well, who's to know if they didn't even fucking plan it, dude? Like, what are you gonna launch a goddamn investigation on an Airbnb?
Man, dude.
But like dude, it's kind of expected though. Like some YouTubers live in the most like disgusting squalor in the world too. Like that's like, here's the thing. I'm looking at your place. I'm looking at my place. We're all clean as fuck. The only thing dirty in my place is like maybe like a can of like iced tea that I have there. It's just like I gotta imagine like most of the YouTubers, like most of the Smash community types, most of the anime con types. It's like they got dude, the squalor some people live in. Like I saw a clip from XQC.
Oh
bro,
my god!
Oh, that clip was crazy,
bro. He moves the camera left.
It's a whole other world. Dude.
I gotta set this up for the audience. Like just so he's got his monitor here, right? The camera just a little bit like to here. He pans it. It's just fucking boxes of McNuggets and soda. It's like, dog, what? How hard is it to get a trash bag, put that shit in there, and throw it out to the curb? Like,
dude, I mean, so like I was thinking, like you'd think he'd get someone to like clean his place, right? But he streams 12 hours a day.
Well, like, why
you can't get someone to clean your place if you're streaming all day?
Well, he can hire a maid, right? Like he's got maid money. He can hire the fucking maid to show up.
Yeah.
I see I saw it, and then like I know Asmongold, and I like Asmongold, but he showed his room too, and I'm like, bro, you can't be doing this. This is like fire hazard territory. Like I looked at the rooms, I'm like, man, if my mom and dad ever saw that, bro, they don't even give a fuck if I was streaming, recording, or doing. They would pull me by the ear and force me to clean my entire
they would
house.
SWAT you, bro. They would just SWAT you.
They'd SWAT me with the fucking maid service, like they'd break in and shit. I was like, dude, you cannot live like this. Like this is not. And it's like every streamer too. Like a lot of the big ones. Like I can literally count on my hands the people that just live like normal adults. The other, like everyone else is just like a petulant child. Like I actually, you know what? Forget XQC. I'm actually going to demonize them more. Like I saw Aiden Ross's streams, bro. That dude lives clean. Like that dude lives clean compared to like the fucking game. It's the gamer streamers that give us all a bad rep, you know?
To have the messy places, yeah.
Bro, it's like...
I'm so happy you mentioned Aiden Ross because I love talking about him on the podcast. It's my little Aiden Ross outlet hour. Did you see that dude literally streaming, watching porn on Kick?
Dude, I love it. I love his like Islam arc almost. It's like one day he's like fully halal, like all porn bad, you know, don't jack off. The next month,
he went on a whole crusade against hot tub streamers.
Now, for context, hold on. I want to say when he did stream, he said, "I don't watch this." I mean, he's still streamed it to like 80,000 people.
The dude opened it up on his monitor and he was like, "Listen, I don't want to watch this, but you do. So like, I'm putting this here for you guys. I don't want to see it." It's like, okay, dude. Okay, dude.
It's like the alcoholic who's like, yeah, I go to AA meetings, but you know, I'll only have this shot of whiskey because you're having it, by the way, too. I'm not doing it for me. I'm like, okay. But also, it was a pretty fast Pornhub open. Like that dude, like fucking he Wild West, like opened up the tab and quickly like fucking went to it. So I don't know if he doesn't watch it, but go ahead. Nice.
No, that was it. That was it. The hypocrisy there.
Yeah. Nah, within the clip itself, it was more so crazy. Just like the realization towards the end where he's asking his audience like how old they are. Like I don't know what he expected. It's like you're asking people to spam W's in chat. You expect like some grown adults being like watching you. Like you should know that like who is looking at what you're doing right now. You know, like I don't know. I feel like in his case, like Twitch helped them a lot more with the rules they had, because without those rules, I feel like he's gonna get into a lot more situations like this that's just plastered everywhere.
Well, so on Kick, right? So this is a new platform by Trainwrecks, and it's sponsored by Stake. They have a TOS that says no copyrighted material, like none of that shit. Both those rules have been violated in the worst ways. You know, this is like, if you think about it, right? The first like a week ago, Super Bowl happened. Dude streamed the whole fucking event on Kick. So like, insane. I'm just like, listen, at this point, you have such high viewer numbers, they can just sue you directly. You know, they can just say like,
absolutely.
Kick, they'll sue him. Like they'll DMCA Aiden Ross. Like they'll take him to court. And it's not like he can be like, bro, it's fair use. No, it's not. Dude, it's not fair use. You streamed the pay-per-view.
It's worse than just copyright abuse. Also, it's distribution level copyright abuse.
Oh yeah,
showed it to 100,000 people.
Yeah. And then like when it comes to, it's like, listen, most people, they get banned because what happens is like they have some deep fake that shows up for like half a fucking frame and then boom, you know, timeouts, which is dumb. Or they'll all tap to. First off, okay, listen, if you're a streamer, close all the tabs before you hit start streaming.
Bro, what?
You never know when you need to alt tab, right?
Oh God.
Like I freak out because when I'm streaming, like there's sometimes when I stream, I do a lot of like, you know, like banking tax stuff, like spreadsheet stuff before I stream. And it's all on the same computer, right? So I'm like doing all of it and then I just minimize it for later. So when I'm streaming and hit alt tab, I'm worried that I'm leaking an address out or something out, or like somebody's number that I work with. Cause I'm like, oh, but like, it's like if Like, first off, who don't be degenerate enough to sit where you're working and watch them. You have cell phones exist for a reason, okay? The screen started getting bigger when people discovered videos work, all right? Factor that into the equation. But it's like, bro, you're streaming, you're all tabbing, like you show a frame of, like, if I show that by mistake on YouTube, I'm like closing the stream, wiping the VOD, doing everything, like praying to every god imaginable that like the moderation team hasn't stepped in. But like, dog, these people are like just straight up like he put the whole website on. It's like, let's just put on a video. Like, dude, why?
Yeah. The why is what I just don't understand. Watching the full clip and everything, it makes no sense to me.
I think it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like he's like a really young dude, and it's like he's just playing really, but it's kind of like the Speed stuff, you know? Like Speed will do shit like deep fry like stuff on his like his computer chair.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, okay, fire hazard. But then you're like, this is like you're clip farming, right? Like, because you know it's going to be reacted to and people are going to talk about it, right? So it's like,
also, dude, like, I mean, he also was doing copyright abuse over the last week, right?
Oh, Speed? Yeah, Speed was he ran a company where he was like claiming videos and shit, which that was his whole like thing. I feel like that's a whole avenue of YouTube where like I have a really hard like stance. I'm like, if you do DMCA abuse on people, you should just be insta removed off the platform, no question, like the full ban.
I honestly agree. So right now, this past week, Niji Sanji, Japanese VTuber group, they gave 10 copyright strikes to 2 separate VTuber news channels. It's like just people, you know, talking about the news. It's like, this week, VTuber said that I am the queen of all the Jews. That's something that happened, by the way, like a week ago. That was a weird moment.
Okay.
But anyway, so someone said that. So obviously all the drama / news VTubers talk about it. Company was like, you know what? No more of this bad press. And they copyright striked every single video talking about their talent in negative lights.
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
On 2 separate channels.
There's actually like, so speaking of copyright too, there's this one game that's actually being deleted off the internet right now. Have you guys heard about it?
No.
I don't think I have.
Okay, so this one Japanese point and click game, like I'm working on this whole video. I'm just gonna get the name of it because I have it downloaded. Cookies Bustle, okay? So this is some dumb point and click game. It's a weird You guys ever played that LSD Dream Emulator shit? Like the PS1?
No.
Like,
No.
You guys ever heard of it?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's like the super obscure PlayStation 1. It's like, it's just Japan, right? Like if you want, it's a Japanese like weird game. So it's so obscure that like, I was trying to find a download for this because I was like, man, I haven't played some goofy shit in a while. Couldn't find a download because somebody's been taken down. It's being DMCA'd off everything, bro. It's being DMCA'd off like Russian servers at this point. People who don't care about the fucking law are following the law. So apparently the game is so old that the trademark filing went out. And like somebody pretending to be like or owning the game or owning the trademark has just been sending out DMCA requests and has been trying to delete this one game off of the internet. So I'm like ready to go to war on this. Like I'm ready to go into like an international legal battle if like tomorrow I upload this video and like it just gets taken down. Like, all right, let's go to fucking court because no one owns any of these trademarks. And it's like, it's such a perfect example of why the copyright ruling is so bullshit these days. Because it's like, most of the abuse that happens is never from the company. Like you've made tons of videos on games, right? But like, have you ever received like content IDs for the dumbest shit ever?
Yeah.
Like,
I did fight them when they got like revoked too. So yeah.
I remember way early into my career, I made like a video on like Call of Duty and I was freaking out. Like you got to understand, I was pissing and shitting myself because MTV Lebanon claimed a Black Ops 2 video. And I was like, oh my God, dude. Because the way that YouTube words it, it's like, it makes it sound like you're about to enter a legal war against somebody.
It does. It's terrifying.
Yeah. Like the first videos ever got claimed, like I just deleted them. I got scared. I'm like, I can't go to jail for this. Nah.
It's like, if you lie, you could lose this could result in channel termination. I'm like, oh my God, I'm fighting an international battle with MTV Lebanon. Nowadays, if I got that strike, I'm like, all right, boys, let's file that counterclaim. Let's go. Like
instantly.
Like because I remember when I was like the first time, like, wait, how, like after I deleted the whole video, like because I got freaked out, like I sat there in my bed, I'm like, wait, how the would MTV Lebanon own Call of Duty? Wait, no, I'm the fucking idiot here. But yeah, the way that YouTube and the way that a lot of these sites word it, it's literally like we're on the chopping block, and the guy that abuses it doesn't get like anything out of it. Like they're just like, whatever. Feel free to like file a million other cases. Like who cares? It's like YouTube says you will be punished if you abuse this tool. Never have I seen anybody fucking being punished for that shit. Yeah. Ever.
Unless it's like some no-name person. Like an actual company getting punished for that? Nah.
No. Well, a lot of them do it. A lot of them have to do it because it's how they maintain like their it's how they maintain their legal status. So if you get like the thing is people get mad about like YouTube taking down videos, but I'm like they just have to because at the end of the day, like if you file a legal request, they're just gonna honor it. And then you can argue that later on. But like, dude, the abuse is so rampant in it. Like, dude, there are people that can fake being the owners of like a video, like a Demon Souls or something, like from software, and issue a takedown request on their behalf. And YouTube's like, all right, f it, let's not look further into it. Jim Bob from fucking Carolina just filed this request on behalf of From Software Japan. Who gives a shit? Like, okay,
it's sure, brutal, I guess. Like, people can get harassed so easily for this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and they do.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's unfortunately I don't know. It's one of those like it's one of the things where like people are like being a YouTuber is like really fucking easy, and I'm like, you're right. Actually, in a lot of cases, it is. And then it's fucking annoying because you get into legal spats like this that you just don't like. Most people don't have like any team ready for it. You know.
I don't know if you saw this, but there was a whole drama between clip channels. Like there was a clip, like let's say Moist Critical, right? He streams.
Yeah.
As he streams, all the clip channels are uploading his reactions. Okay.
Mm.
You know, Moist Critical reacts to why Kurglzot is actually evil, right? And
bro, that stuff happens so fast. Like, bro, you can be talking about instantly. You get clipped and like uploaded.
And so all the clip channels do that stuff. And here's the wild part: they started copyright striking each other. The clip channels were at war with each other. It's like, no, I'm stealing. You didn't hear about this? It's the funniest thing. It's like Hassan also had this happen, like where they had one clip channel that would copyright strike all the other clip channels that are stealing the content.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Bro,
doesn't make any sense.
Some of the shit that comes out of Twitch is insane. Like I saw the other day, this one chick was like driving her car, like streaming, literally noticed a dog and then still ran it over. Like,
oh my god,
that clip,
I saw
dude.
that too.
Bro, it is brutal. Like I just like I saw it through like Charlie's channel and I was like, man, this is like just because it's like first off, you're recording yourself texting, like that's already against the Twitch TOS. That's already against like multiple like road laws anyways. Mm-hmm. You run over the fucking dog and shit. It's like you finally think like the good news that came out of it was last night before I was going to bed, like apparently the cops in like Poland are investigating and everything. I'm like, yo, big fucking sentence right there. Hoping for the fattest sentence on that one, dude.
Yeah, I'm saying
some of the dumbest shit that you'll ever find on there, dude. Like people out there, like legit. It's like the IRL streamer era. Like remember during the whole like Ice Poseidon boom, like every crackhead was like out there with a fucking, like selfie camera recording them.
Yeah.
And it's like it was that period where like literally people just like record themselves doing like actually like illegal shit and then like expecting no repercussion out of it. In a way, it's kind of like a golden era too. Like in a way, like that whole Ice Poseidon mansion was just like the funniest social experiment to look at. It's like what happens when like one famous streamer gets like 10 crackheads into like one LA mansion. Oh, they got raided by the FBI.
Like, Ice Poseidon's also a really good working example of how getting banned off a platform literally can destroy you.
Yeah. Like because he was at like a peak that honestly we were like an unknown territory to see what would happen to him after he got banned. But yeah, no, it just all went downhill fairly fast.
Yeah, like that would have been a good example to bring up. Last week we talked about that, right?
Yeah.
Like, if banning someone from a platform actually does cut them off from stuff. Because, you know, Andrew Tate's bigger than ever, even though he's been banned everywhere.
I don't know if he's even big anymore. Like, I've been looking more into it, and it's like, that dude is just...
Well, he's in prison, so... For a guy in prison...
I guess it's working out pretty well for him. It's just, I don't know how that whole story is going to end, man. Like, it's getting to a point where every day I look at the Andrew Tate shit, it's like yesterday I was, like, reading that we had... apparently like he was being like framed or something, and I'm like, dude, I want this, like, I want to see the next part of this case, just so like we can either say that he's like a actual human trafficker or he's just like a scumbag, but he didn't do anything illegal, so I guess let him out. Like, it's gone on way too long, you know?
Yeah, I heard like they're keeping him for another month as well too.
I saw that.
Yeah. Which is like, to me, it's like, okay, either they have something on him or like he's just that big of a flight risk, which he is because he's got money and he's like, you know, flexed it numerous times. So it's like, listen, if you live anywhere
or they're
in the
just
world,
like, no, you say our government's corrupt. I'll show you how corrupt our government really is.
Yeah. Rule of law, we'll show you that shit doesn't exist here, motherfucker. No. Like, the thing is, it's like, if he is doing something illegal, the dumbest shit that he did was being popular in the first place, you know? It's like, why would you ever, like...
Dude. And the fact that he would flex it, like, he flexed it.
Well, like, I kind of sit there and I wonder, it's like, listen, like, the dude's buying, like, all these supercars and everything. It's like, I've only ever seen that behavior out of, like, one other rich type of person. That's, like, a cartel guy. It's, like, another, like those dipshit cartel guys that get killed, like, 6 months into their career, you know? Like, fucking, hey, guys, we have all these gold guns and, like, these Lamborghinis, and then you read the next day, it's like, dude's been shot dead in Sinaloa or something by the cops. That's all I notice it out of, because I'm like, like, if you were an actual criminal, like, you would not be fucking, you would try to be like in full Assassin's Creed anonymous, like nobody knows you, ripping off your wanted posters and shit. Like, this is just insane behavior, because it's like, dude, this guy is out there, like, and the only reason he was like buying those cars was to flex to the kiddies, and it's like, hey, join Hustlers University, you can, you know,
you do this too.
Yeah, it's like, all right. I even remember like the when I was talking to like Coffee about it, like the whole like the definition of like rich to them was like having $5,000 cash on hand, and I'm like, oh, so they really are trying to attract like 12-year-olds. Like, if a 12-year-old realized, like, bro, $5,000 ain't gonna get you that far in the real world, you know? Like, bro, you live in Miami, like $5,000 ain't gonna get you shit out there.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's like Toronto. It's like, congratulations, you paid your month's rent, I guess. Good job. Like, but I don't know. It's weird. He's been arrested. He's going through it. And at the end of the day, if he's committed a crime, I want him in jail. If he hasn't, I'd rather him be free, because it's like, if you're trying to stay consistent in your beliefs, it's like, just make sure like a crime happened or it didn't, you know?
Yeah,
and, like,
I agree with that.
Like, I think the dude is a fucking piece of shit, but like, if the dude didn't commit a crime, then he shouldn't be in jail for just being a piece of shit, you know? He should just be, you know, like, it is what it is. There's tons of people that are shitty individuals, you know, but they're not criminals. You know, I don't agree with them, but I'd rather not them seeing like being wasted away in a Romanian prison cell. But you say that out on the internet, and they're like, you know, Twitter of all places, they'll like, you know, behead you.
Right now, Twitter is like the dystopian realm of opinions. Like, you just can't say something logical if someone feels so strongly against it.
Not real. It can't be real.
It's not.
No, the hive mind on Twitter is like, it's just, I feel like it's the biggest example of misery loving company. That or Reddit. Like, Reddit's an insane place, dude. Like,
Reddit is like the Tumblr reincarnated, bro. Like, some of the spiels I see people go on is just ridiculous.
Dude, the Hogwarts shit came out, so like,
oh my gosh,
I played like Hogwarts. I talked about it, bro. They were calling my ass a white nationalist on like that gaming circle jerk shit. I was like, how is my ass like a wait, hold on. Wait, process that in your head for a minute. Why am I simping for the side that's going to lynch me? What the and then, like, at the end of the day, I was like, I'm just here to play. Like, I literally said, I'm like, I don't agree with, like, whatever JK's on about, but, you know, I'm going to play the game because it's made by a whole different development team, right? Like, shit. It's too big of a brand, and it is what it is.
The wild thing is, again, like, Twitter takes everything to an extreme, right?
Yeah.
Like, when it comes to the Hogwarts thing, whether you don't want to play it because you don't want to support it, okay. Mm-hmm. You want to play it because you don't think it's attached to J.K. Rowling, okay. I totally get both these sides. It's the harassing people thing that's disgusting. No matter what side you're on. Like, why are you harassing anyone? You're not helping the world.
Doxing, doing insane shit. And it's wild because it's like, bro, you have so much more like wild shit going on. Bro, we have aliens invading us now. Aliens are invading us, dude. We've got UFOs. Bro, we've got so many UFOs just this year that the fucking Facebook accounts that were like, bro, the secret truth about UFOs revealed, they're mad because everyone's talking about it now, dude. It's like aliens have finally come over to us. Bro, we're shooting down aliens. There's like fucking chemical, like, have you seen that train derailment in Ohio and shit?
Yeah.
Did you see this Reddit photo of it? Like, it top viewed, like, literally the guy was flying above and it looked like a portal to like hell opened up. I'm like, I don't know how to describe this the best way. I'm like, son, that's just Ohio, but like, Jesus Christ. It's
scary.
Yeah, dude, it's a wild world. And then like the other day, like North Korea is firing off nukes again, and like there's footage I saw from like Hokkaido, like the port of Japan. Like, bro, you see the missile in the sky like falling. Like, I'm like, dude, imagine just being a Japanese citizen, minding your own day. You know, like you're out there, you're smoking your like cigarette out at the end of a work day, and this missiles. It's not a shooting star. It's a fucking actual missile falling into your waters. Bro, come on now. What kind of fucking world? Like, so much more wild shit is going on out there. And then we're so worried about like this one game. And, you know, a lot of the backlash for it felt like GDQ ended up banning it. That was about the one big thing that I read. But then again, GDQ bans anything fun these days. So,
but the irony is, like, these people, I'm not saying this for everyone, but most of them don't really care. They just want the clout points. You know, like they want that interaction that they're harassing someone. They want someone to feel that they exist in the world. It's like no one cares about the other J.K. Rowling works that aren't popular enough and aren't going to get them the clicks. You know, you ever heard of the show Strike? Famous TV show that just got a 5th season, written by J.K. Rowling. Literally, no one cares. Literally, no one cares.
Well, if you wanted to protest, like you go to Hogwarts like World and like Universal, like that place makes way more fucking money.
You can't do that from your bedroom, though. You can't do that announmously. The whole point is to be anonymous when you're harassing people.
Yeah. You can't just like that would require flying into LA and like actually getting your pitchforks and like, you know, picket fences ready.
That would require touching grass.
Yeah, exactly. That's not something that anybody cares to do. I don't know. The whole thing is insane. Like, I get the argument, right? Like, listen, like when we say this, it's not like we're against, you know, an entire marginalized community. Like, I get it. I'm for like all of these, like, you know, I'm for like the transgender rights and everything. Like, it's never not been about that. But it's just like, this is like that level of like protesting that's just like you're turning off way more people than you're trying to get into you. Because a lot of people that are like those fence sitters that they want to call, it's like, what do you think do you think they're just going to suddenly go to your side when they find out that you're just like running these harassment campaigns and like you're being really militant about it? It's like, I don't know. It always has never worked in anybody's favor as far as I've ever seen. It's only like ended up radicalizing people against the whole idea.
Yeah.
But then again, what do I know? I'm like nearly 30 years old at this point, but I've seen this go down in a million fucking ways.
Literally.
Yeah.
I think like one of the bigger problems with some of the people that like are actually mad about this issue is that there's just some people that are chronically online that just don't understand that these issues only exist on Twitter and like Reddit, you know, like you go outside, go to the gym, whatever, and try to, you know, push this same agenda. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Like, I feel like more people coming into these arguments need to be more well-versed in like you said, like the actual issues in the world, and more so just like the actual means to support what you're talking about that you want to have happen here. Because like with Universal, like that was an argument a lot of my friends have made. It's like that's where you should kind of be protesting more if you're trying to, you know, like dent her pockets or really put a stand to what she's doing is wrong.
Because that's where most of the money is made, right? Like another big example is like Lego. Like I know that I buy like Lego sets from time to time for like my nieces at this point. I'm like, because they're into Harry Potter, so it's like I'll buy them the merchandise. I'm like, you don't understand. Like this one game doesn't. Like, if you knew the real world, you know that, like, there's a lot of other ways that she makes a crap ton of money. Video games are not the only source. You've got those book royalty. Like, if you wanted to go at her, those bookstores, number one. That's where she gets her royalty checks all the time. In movies, Universal itself. Like, that's it. Like, if you wanted to really impact somebody, it's like going there. Not, you know, it's like...
to be completely honest, though, let's say you're... you start a movement, and because of this movement, she makes $1 billion less. Will that change any part of her lifestyle at all?
Because once you've made that much money, you're done. It's like, look, tomorrow Vin Diesel could come out and say some f***ed up shit. Now, look, I'm personally going to watch Fast and the Furious because I think Fast and the Furious is the greatest movie franchise ever made. But I'm just saying, I'm not going to go and protest the Fast and the Furious video game because I know that does all for Vin Diesel. I know that doesn't matter. If I wanted to protest, I'd go all the way out to Universal and stand in front of the cars. But that's just how it goes, all right? Like, I'm going to go hit them where the money matters. But then again, I would never protest Fast and the Furious. I think that's the greatest series of movies ever made.
Greatest franchise in history.
Bro, it actually unironically is. Like, people like to shit on Fast and the Furious, but I'm like, find me a flaw in the movies. Like, unironically, find me a flaw. They're literally
flawless. 10 out of 10 movies.
100%. Dude, like, if I was IGN, I'd be rating that bitch 10 out of 10 every day. I'd be at the top.
Could never.
No. Fast and the Furious is sick. Like, Super Bowl ad came in. Bro, my brother was like, did you see how stupid this movie was? I'm like, why is it stupid? He's like, the story sucks. I'm like, that alone is the reason why I can't take you seriously.
You fool! Absolute buffoon! You're watching a movie for the story, bro?
No,
damn!
But it's like
you've learned nothing.
I message him, I'm like, bro, you're watching the Fast trailer, asking me the story. You know the story for Fast and the Furious has not been good since Fast and the Furious 1, my guy. You know it's not good. It's like GTA Online, right? Like, people are like, do you like playing GTA Online? The story's not even about gangsters anymore. Bro, it's the perfect parallel to Fast and the Furious. I'm just there for the goofy shit, the cars, whenever they occasionally race at this point. That's all I'm there for. Like, I had to explain to my brother, I'm like, when you watch Fast and the Furious, bro, they've got the biggest actor. Okay, I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna read a storyline to one of the Fast and the Furious movies. Okay, all right. Like, picture this in your head.
All right.
Some of you might even know this. Okay, so
my head's blank, so I'm already picturing.
All right. Okay, so Vin Diesel has to fight a criminal cyber warfare group that is currently hacking the entire world, and so his son gets kidnapped, and he enlists the help of the Fast crew and one of the world's biggest terrorists in order to rescue his son and stop the chick from Mad Max from hacking into the government systems and stealing all the weapons and shit.
Makes sense. There we go. Boom.
It's very hard to picture after hacking the world, to be honest.
Bro, that's a Fast storyline, okay? Literally, that is the Fast storyline.
Sponsored by Netflix.
Bro, if you could go back in time, to the first producer that did a line of coke thinking of this idea and told him you'd go from street racing in LA to fucking flying B-52 bombers that had stealth capabilities, it never happened. Bro, they would be sitting there confused out of their mind. That's the beauty of the Fast storyline. Bro, they had a whole runway scene, right? That lasted for 15 minutes. Obviously the longest runway in the world. The best part about this franchise is there are YouTube videos. There's a YouTube video right now you can watch of a guy doing actual fucking math. Full on math on the runways. He's doing this Dodge was moving at this many miles an hour, therefore the length of this runway. I'm like, bro, you've already lost.
I do love power scaling.
I'm like, bro, you've already spent this 15-minute long diatribe on fucking figuring out the math to a Fast movie. I don't even why? Nobody does this. It's a movie about cars, about the stupidest plots in the world,
and about family.
Yeah, it's Vin Diesel, bro. Who has ever taken a Vin Diesel role seriously?
I've seen The Pacifier, and it's a masterpiece.
Bro, dude, exactly. You're trying to take The Pacifier seriously in his role. It's come on. Because you're trying to take it seriously. Vin Diesel is the only man that probably takes Fast and the Furious seriously, and his cast members are just playing along. You cannot tell me. Have you ever seen Vin Diesel live stream on Facebook?
No. I haven't.
Okay. Go down this rabbit hole. It's the funniest shit in the world. It's like your grandpa trying to stream for the first time. He figures out how Facebook works, and he's sitting at his mansion, and all of the cast members are there with him one night, and he's talking about the Fast storyline, and they're all visibly hey Vin, can you just stop? Can you not do this? Bro, there are times where he's he leaked I think it was him that leaked 15 minutes of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie because he was on the red carpet. He's streaming with his phone, and then he sticks it in his pocket and walks in.
No,
and you can hear the security. You can hear somebody from
that. Yeah, dude. Oh wow. Holy, that was hilarious.
Somebody from Disney's hey, man, you gotta turn that off. I was no way. I love this. It's the best because every time I watch, I go down the Vin Diesel rabbit hole. It's my dad figuring out live streaming tech for the first time. It's soul and heart is in the right place, but holy shit, stop doing it. He is one of my favorite actors in Hollywood ever because it's just he doesn't give a man. He is what he is. He's an anomaly, dude.
He's a beautiful man. Sponsored by Lexus.
I feel like that's always like cool to see this day and age with content creation becoming like what it is more often, and seeing more people kind of put on a face for what they're doing. Just seeing people at this point just being genuinely, just human, right? This is it's cool to see.
Yeah, I feel like there's actually a couple of creators like that. Like I didn't know about this Kai Cenat guy for a while.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the subathon for like 200,000. So I logged in. I'm like, let me see what this guy's all about. Bro, it was the most wholesome thing because I tuned in just for he reached his goal. Bro, he had his siblings on and everything. I'm like, oh, you don't see that shit anymore, dude. Like, dude's just vibing in his house, bringing his family across and everything, having a good time. His homies were totally raw. Like this one guy walked in just straight up through the hardest racial slur of his life. He's like, bro, the look on his face while he walks in, what's up, my, you know what? And then he's just like, bro, come on, you can't. He mutes the mic. He has this father son talk. Anyways, guys, he said fingers. Jesus
that clip was
Christ.
hilarious.
No, part of me was like, man, that clip has to be generated because it's so fucking perfect. His dude walks in, he sits him down, and then they look on the guy's face like, oh shit, I f***ed up, man. I shouldn't have said that word. You knew he was streaming, bro. Come on. No, it was fun. I don't know. There's a few creators left like that, but yeah, no, you're right. There's a lot of those types that are definitely in the gaming world, at least, definitely weird and fakey about it.
Yeah.
No, but it's a wild time, and it's also funny in my humble opinion. It's really funny to see celebrities, because when in the old days, right? Celebrities kind of they had this very large wall between them and the public. You only saw the tiniest snippets of them, exactly perfectly pruned. And today with live streaming and much more access to social media, you actually see celebrities for who they are to an extent too. Mm-hmm. And I think it terrifies them personally.
Yeah.
And I think it's hilarious. I think it's so
fun. I think it's super, this is why I hate getting into the whole cancel-y shit nowadays, because it's you'll come across a bunch of creators who say some wild shit from time to time, or they say something a little bit raunchy, and I'm like, you do realize every human being is like this, right? There is no creator on the internet that I would find would be comfortable with their Discord chats being leaked out with their close friends. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah. I remember when I was at a gaming convention, this was a PAX convention or whatever, and you kind of had a flood of some of those Among Us streamers and I guess gamers, if you will. Bro, the Among Us, I said the R word, right? I'm not saying it because YouTube demonetizes it now. I said it out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, this shit. So the whole context was we were at the Airbnb, and I was like, oh, you guys want to see some R word content? I put on the Roblox shit, the Roblox roleplay crap, and everyone is over there. So these Among Us people came in, not naming names. I said the R word, and the face, the look on their face was,
you did not.
How dare you? And they're like, maybe it's just a gamer thing. I'm like, come on, you can't be this terminally online. You've never heard that? Come on, bro. My teacher said this back in primary school.
Dude,
the
most wholesome people, every 60-year-old guy says it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
They all do.
Yeah.
100%.
My dad's a doctor. That's his go-to word. That's literally my dad's go-to word. He's a doc and everything. He's like, yeah, that shit is just, R-worded as all the time. And I'm like, Dad, you can't be saying that. Your doctor's like, why can't I? What are you going to do? Take my license away? What the
See, now, this guy, dude's literally uncancelable.
Yeah, literally. I had this talk with my dad. He's like, oh, so the people that get canceled, the ones that just don't have any means to fight back. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, what are you going to do? Take my license away? What? Because I said something up? Okay, cool. Try it, I guess. And then my dad's like, even if you took his license away, my dad's like, I don't give a f***. I'm old. I don't care now. I'm out of it. Who gives a shit? But that was one of those. I don't know. It's a funny thing, meeting the creators nowadays. There's a. I don't think we've ever had somebody like that on this show. That's been a fake person. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We've never had somebody we're pretty good on sussing that out. The only thing that was really weird was that one that one kid from the Game Awards.
That dude was fake as heck.
Bro,
I have never seen a faker dude.
You brought him on.
We had him on, dude. Okay, so let me explain this show.
Okay.
That
Biggest
episode
mistake of our life.
So we thought the episode was going to be funny, right? Because we're like, oh, this guy's like a troll, cool, whatever. I think 20 minutes into the filming of that episode, I was like, guys, can we just like, I was about to go like, hey, let's just cut this and like record something, just us three. Because it was so annoying. Like,
It was
Caleb,
so bad.
Caleb for the first time, like I've never seen Caleb like visibly like wanting to like fucking like off himself. He was done. Like he was done. Nux was like, I guess I'll just try to like Nux was like playing him like a FromSoft game. Like he was like, he's a boss. Let me try stun locking it. And I was just like, I guess I'm here for the ride.
For the first 20 minutes, we kind of let him do his shtick, and then it got so insufferable. All three of us together were like, you know what? We're just gonna bully him now.
It literally was just like, all right, boys, I guess this is the best time now. Let's go at it. It was that was the most annoying. Like I think we were so done. I was like, bro. And the funny thing is, like, there were people in the comments that were kind of like liking it, and I was like, how?
No,
how do you?
I would like.
Yeah, no, I don't
From a
understand that either.
third-party perspective, I could see you liking it. Okay,
Mhm.
I could totally get it. People like watching other people suffer. Okay, people love that. And I
Yeah.
think everyone enjoyed watching us suffer with that dude. It's
I
like,
know.
You know, it's like everyone wants to see people react to Velma because Velma's an absolute disaster. So it's the same concept.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of my age. Because every clip I've seen the guy in, he just seems like a kid that's just really trying to be seen, almost, right? It's just very out there with that.
I was like, I just wanted to hear him talk about like how he broke onto like the fucking set, because I was like, that is like a big ass breach of security. Never reached the answer on that one. It's just like fucking. Yeah, like the thing is, like he had like this one clip where he had like these like OF girls on or whatever the. And he was like, read a book or something. I'm like, all right, so you like stun locked her into like not reading. I'm like, it was dumb stuff. And then like, I thought the character was going to break. I thought he wouldn't be entirely in character. And then I was like, you know what? This is like, it really was like, man, I'm maybe I am getting too old for shit now on the internet, because holy this is just not funny.
It's like it was supposed to be a conversation, right? Like, and he was just like, he took it as a chance to perform. And he was trying so hard to get clips out of us. Like he was trying to provoke us to get clips out of us. And
we were just like,
we didn't let him. Like I think it was almost like selfish and stubbornness on our part. They were like, you know what? We're gonna make you sit through this for an hour and 30 minutes, and every clip is gonna make you look stupid.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we're not gonna get any clip out of it. And I don't think any clip did show up out of that whole thing, because we were just not letting it happen. So it was like, all right, cool. Like, who gives a shit? No, but it was that was the one episode that I like always dread. Like it's actually a nightmare for me. Like every time I remember that one, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like we never had a guest that was like that ever. Like period. Like just fully in character. Everyone's been like normal. Like, and that's just what like all it comes down to. Some of the people that I just see on the internet is like, man, when do you turn that like whole mask off? You know, It's like, you guys ever did like Among Us content with other people?
Yeah,
a little bit. But I would be in there like a detective, and people just get little. It's either it's too wholesome or it's too toxic. I'm like in the middle. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really do a lot myself with like engaging in it, but I used to watch all the time, like Toast. I don't know if you guys like fam watch Toast in the time.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was a fun period of content, and it's just like, I don't think we're ever really going to get it, because it really kind of like a lot of those clips, and it's sad because you talk to some of the people now behind the scenes, and it's like they like faked or they like let themselves die. I'm like, dude, maybe it's just me and like the competitive nature in like a video game, but if I'm like in a session like that, I don't care if you're my friend or like you're my biggest enemy, I'm gonna play the Among Us match in the best way I can. I'm gonna lie and cheat and win in this fucking game, even though it gets me nothing out of it. Like I'm not gonna sacrifice my in-game character just to be on the clip of a popular channel. That shit.
100%.
Yeah, like I'm trying to win.
The whole throwing for content thing it's annoying. It's not the game anymore. You're not playing the game.
No, it's not that. It's like Minecraft stuff. It's like, I'm not gonna like fucking be part of some clip. If I'm gonna play a video game, I'm gonna play that shit to get the #1 spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not playing none of that shit to be a loser on. Okay, like get the out of here. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of creation. There's a lot of like weird. There's a lot of avenues you have to be careful when you're collaborating with random people on the internet.
I have made mistakes. I have been like, I got into all of these funny dramas just by like association. I did a video where Afro, you probably heard of this anime. You ever heard of the anime Redo of Healer?
No.
Okay, so Redo of Healer is a disgustingly horrible anime. It's really, really bad. It's about this dude who, like, he went back in time because he was betrayed by all of his allies. So he ended up going back in time, and the main person that betrayed him is this princess. So basically, he just rapes her.
Okay.
And,
Okay, so
that's the
full,
plot of
yeah.
the entire show.
It's an anime.
Show. It's like it keeps going, and he just keeps like, you know,
Right.
assaulting her in different ways and stuff. It's disgusting. It's horrible. So anyway, I was like, okay, so I have to make a video showing this controversial anime to controversial YouTubers. So I showed it to like Monkey Jones and It's a Gundam, and then it's like you get canceled by association because you're
nobody likes those
friends
people,
with these people, and it's like, okay, but that's like the content, dude. It's like,
yeah, it's like,
That's
but
the
even
point.
the internet policing your relationships are kind of like super weird to me.
it
Like
is.
I remember when I was on like Charlie's podcast, there's like one co-host that gets like constantly like canceled. It's that Kaya guy, right? Like Kaya Orson or whatever. I think he's a cool dude. He gets like a little bit eccentric, like his takes are a little bit out there sometimes. Like I can't co-sign on everything, but it's just like, bro, every time I'm on there, it's like that guy is super duper insanely right wing, and how do these? I'm like, dude, it's just like. It's like,
Well,
first off, like, you don't know this person, right? Like, you don't know
when
my
we
relationship.
when we started the podcast was right after my big drama thing,
Mhm.
and tons of people were basically telling you, how are you friends with Nux? Don't you know?
Yeah, I'm like, I know. Trust me, I know that. That's why I went into it. No, I'm not going to let the internet decide who I can and cannot be friends with. Like, tomorrow after, you can get canceled for something dumb. Like, you could get canceled tomorrow, and we're not going to, like, we're not going to write in the
delete
comments.
this video and
We're going to be
and,
like,
like,
all right, cancel it.
quit longer. I'm no longer
Yeah.
associating with AfroSenju. Apparently, he rents his car, which is too similar to being a landlord. Landlords are
Oh,
evil.
my God. Dude. Bro, sometimes...
I think that's like the goggles that a lot of creators can have to look past that parasocial like lens that people want to force things to be black and white. It's like I see it so many times, like someone's just like, hey, this person did this bad thing, and just off of the words alone, it's like, all right, bet, I'm with it, I agree, this guy. It's like, bro, like, take some time to really hear both sides and form opinions. It's like it's like steps that people just skip on social media. That's just so weird to me. It's just like it's normal too. It's like one person saying, hey, Nux is this, that, and the third. All right, that guy. It's like, bro, what? Or Afro is this, that, and the third. Sorry, that guy. It's like, bro, what do you don't even know me. Like, what are you talking about? How do you have that much time to put that much energy, you know?
You ever been, like, canceled for something?
I've been close to it to a degree. Like, I'll just say, like, dumb stuff about, like, One Piece. And people just get so, like
I
hurt about it. Yeah,
I remember that.
There was this one guy that was friends with like it's a rapper guy. Like I'm kind of, I don't know him like that, but my friend introduced me and we follow each other. And one of his friends follow me as well too. And I just said One Piece is bad one day, and he just felt such a crazy way about it that he went to go call my friend that is our mutual and just like, yo, like, why is this guy like around us or this, that, and the third? This is like, bro, it's One Piece. It's anime.
Yeah.
Like, who cares if my tone is aggressive how you think I'm saying it? It's like, it's so stupid. And, you know, there would be times where like some friends or acquaintances would be caught in controversy, and I'll give my opinion because, you know, I've worked with them and stuff like that. And I'll just get these quote tweets by people just trying to hit that ratio 3-point shot across the, you know, across the court.
Oh, yeah.
Like, aren't you the same guy who did this or this, that, and the third, or bad
You're the
takes?
guy that
And-
hates One Piece.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And, you know, some of those tweets like will blow up in a way where they're agreeing. It's like, yeah, fuck that guy, I hate him and all that. One Piece is like the main thing I can think of, or just like maybe a dumb joke that people just, you know, try to twist in a certain way.
That's so
it's crazy.
insane.
Like,
the hatred, the fucking one opinion about, not even bad. It's like one man's opinion about One Piece.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, dude. That is
Like, if people don't like you, they will use any means possible to try their best to destroy you, because there's literally no repercussions headed their way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no,
I've learned that like hating is like a hobby for some people. Like some people genuinely like to do it. They like to cancel somebody. They like, it's like you know, you watch there's like a YouTuber that people just like watching, DSP or like Wings or Redemption. Like people like watching the train wreck in a sense, right? They like that,
Yeah.
like seeing something bad happen. Like some people just like that and just any creator, right? Someone's getting canceled, it's like, oh, finally, I have some enjoyment. Like that's how they look at it, right? So
Yeah, like DSP is a fun fact that you brought up. I remember I finally looked at DSP again after so many years, right? Like there used to be a pile that like, because once you watch one of those like hater videos, your whole recommended gets filled.
yeah, you're going down the rabbit hole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I remember like DSP like a couple weeks ago, who's like he made this React channel, which like so DSP has a funny way of doing things. It's like, guys, I'm holier than thou. I'm not going to play Minecraft because the creators that play Minecraft, they're not real. Okay. They're out there trying to entertain the kiddies, then plays Minecraft. Okay. React channels are bad. Okay. Then makes a React channel that's arguably even like less effort than like an XQC or something, right? Like, so he's doing all this shit. And then like what's so wild to me is like some guys can have this like holier than thou mentality. It's like, guys, I'm running a business. Give me money. Give me money. I'm like, please donate. This is my business. I'm like, it doesn't really sound like a business. It sounds like in charity, like is what it is. And then like, when people are like, okay, my content creation is like really difficult, right? Like, oh, it costs so much money to do this every month. And I'm not saying like content creation is like free. Obviously, we all have our expenses, but it's like sitting on your ass and firing up OBS and recording for 4 hours. Bro, I wish I could do that. I wish that's what you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you feel good about it, you know?
There are some days where I'm like, man, I wish my job could be like, I get up at like 10 p.m., not 10 p.m., 10 a.m. and just like fire up OBS, scratch my ass and play like games or watch media share all day. And then I just sign off. Like, that's my job, you know? Like, yeah, I'm high effort for most, like I'm high like energy. And then after a while, I'm just like, I'm done. Like, bro, DSP, you can't be acting like this is the hardest job imaginable. You know, like anybody that does content creation doesn't realize how blessed they are every day getting to be their own like it comes with its problems, yes, but you're your own boss. You decide what you want to post, what you want to do. And sometimes a lot of people's work is marginally less effort than yours, but it's like, you know, just if you're one of those people that like literally doesn't have to do shit, I wouldn't be talking about hard work is all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, with like DSP, it's like there's definitely an element of that group that just like hates them. Like they definitely like do, and it's really irrational to the point where like I remember when DSP like he had some bankruptcy issues, people were hacking into his bank account. I'm like, guys, this is like insane, like mentally, like just insane levels of hatred on somebody, like where you're like hacking into bank accounts or like peeking into every single aspect of their life. Like when I look at people on the internet doing dumb shit, I laugh and move on within the same like 5 minutes. Like it's over. But you're right. For some people, it's like an entire game. It's an entire lifestyle. And there's also a lot of people that are into being a victim perpetually, you know, like they just like
it goes both ways.
Yeah,
for sure.
I remember I had like a group of people like as I would say like in the beginning of my career, I was more on the anime side. Now I just play like other games that are outside of that, so I wouldn't equate it too heavy like I was before.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like this group of people that would always like refer themselves as small YouTubers, and they would have these stances like, you big YouTubers, this, that, and the third. Just like, bro, like this mindset is
that was
limiting you.
especially in the anime scene. Happened to
It's like do you really just like making yourself like the little guy all the time? Like you're a YouTuber, you know that, right? You don't have to use this small anything. But yeah, some people
size really
like
doesn't matter at that point. Exactly. It's like, but then like you'll find like I remember in like so I started with like that creepypasta community of like people reading like those scary stories and shit. Obviously, channel content has changed dramatically since then. But I remember back in the day, it's like in that whole small YouTuber show we brought around, like every time. So obviously things go out of style, right? Like if I did creepypastas every single day, I'd be sitting at like 300 views a video and that's it. Because you can't just do the same thing, you know, for like years. You have to keep changing and evolving yourself. So these motherfuckers would be like, we're small YouTubers. Oh, the algorithm is against us. Oh, the algorithm is totally butt-fucking us. Don't get me wrong. The algorithm has a big part. But like you can only use that crutch so far until you realize you got to change as well, too. Like I straight up had this discussion. I'm like, have you ever heard of this term called self-reflection? You know? Completely fucking gone from this community. They don't give a fuck. It's like, they don't want to change. They just want to they want to be the victim, right? Like some people just enjoy that. They're like, it gives them an excuse. It takes them away from focusing on themselves just for like that brief hour. And I'm like, it ain't healthy, brother. Like, you know?
Yeah. Like the algorithm excuse is interesting. You mentioned that because I had like a lot of friends in YouTube that would always like focus on that. And like, I think like a big thing with like YouTube, Twitch, whatever, it's like, you can't harbor so much on what's already out there. You know, you got to keep on moving. It's a marathon. You want to take all that effort and just like, oh, what was me? The platform's doing this, that, and the third to me. It's like there could be some truth to that, but like you're going down the rabbit hole of like getting lost in too many other variables. It's gonna affect your content and just like your mood. It's like,
Like
really
I just say, I'm like, you're
stuff.
gonna have your good weeks, you're gonna have your bad weeks. Like there was like a month and a half of like bad channel metrics, and now everything's green. So it's like, bro, just do what you want to. Upload something that you like. If I'm smiling and I'm editing a video or something, I know it's a banger video. I don't even give a if it's a 10 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. If I smile at any moment editing the video, I'm like, all right, this is gonna be good. Be
Bro,
done with it.
I'll be honest.
Say,
I feel like I am. I know it's cringe. I'm totally shadow banned, and I know it's crazy to hear. I uploaded a video on my main channel, and it tanked. It did really poorly. I uploaded the same video a week later on my second channel, which is less than a third of the size, and it got more views than the one on the main channel. By like double.
They're doing something to your main channel because you cover a lot of like really like every time I go to your channel, I'm like, dude, how do you get monetized? Because it's like Rule 34 challenge and everything like
listen, I may have dug my own grave, but my main channel has 95% of its views from subs right now, which is
that's not good.
Insane. I spoke to someone at YouTube. I showed them the metrics, and like they looked at my analytics from their side, and they were like, yes, well, we don't shadow ban. Have you ever considered that people just don't want to watch your videos? The guy actually said that to me. I was like, I see. What the same video does well on the other channel, though, it's like, I don't know.
No. Sometimes we're a little wild on the platform, dude. Like sometimes the SPM say some like weird shit.
Yeah.
But it's just that's the whole like fun of content creation, man. You find some wild shit. Sometimes the platform. Sometimes you have like your banger months, dude. Like, I feel like a lot of people on this platform should be like really, really grateful when they have like really, really good months. You know what I mean? It's like every video is doing really well. I'm on a roll, and then it's like it's kind of like that one, like almost like the capitalism thing, right? Like every number has to just keep going higher. You can never like plateau for a little bit. You know what I mean? Like I know like Oompy, it's like his channel was going well, and it was going well, and then it blew up again when he did like the Nikocado shit. He brought like all these fucking like anomalies to his house, which again I still argue is very fucking unsafe. But that's sometimes you gotta like radically change things where like things just shift overnight for you, or you trend in a different direction.
Yeah.
Or a big game comes out like Elden Ring and everyone just blows up because of it.
Yeah. No, Elden Ring was like a Doctor Strange 1% chance situation for like big grossing numbers and stuff like that. Like that was, I don't think we're gonna get that for a while. Like, that was crazy.
I don't think there's been a game as good as Elden Ring since its release, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's been anything like it's not any game that I'm really waiting for. Like the only game that I'm excited for right now is Resident Evil 4 remake, and it's like literally because it's Resident Evil 4. Like not even because it's a brand new game.
Dude, Elden Ring 2, baby. When's it happening?
I think the only way we'll get Elden Ring again is Bloodborne 2. Like if that shit gets announced tomorrow, bro, I'm gonna fucking. That's like it's like
I love Souls games. I've played most of them. I just want Bloodborne to go on PC so I can play it so badly.
Dude,
Bloodborne on PC would be like Bloodborne 2 in itself with the modding and everything else people would put into that. Because I feel like people have been waiting for a long time.
Bro, you're implying Bloodborne 2 is going to show up on PC. We're still not getting Bloodborne 1.
Dude, I want Bloodborne 1 on PC, please.
Dude, that's the weirdest thing out of Sony, right? Like they really. So here's the thing: I liken Sony to a heroin dealer. No joke. Like this is my favorite comparison because it's like Sony's like a drug dealer on PC, right? They're gonna give you a taste of a franchise. Like Spider-Man's on PC. Spider-Man 2 is not gonna show up on PC when it drops for a while until Spider-Man 3 is announced. That's what they do. They give you the first series. Like here's Last of Us remake. All right, you like that hit? All right, now you're gonna buy the PlayStation to get the next fucking part of it.
Oh yeah.
It's like so until Bloodborne 2 gets announced, you're never gonna see Bloodborne on PC unless it gets like emulated, which probably would happen first before the game shows up. And it's insane to me because it's like it's a money printing game. Like if you release Bloodborne on PC now, instantly more sales than like any other like Sony game you release.
I'd buy it.
I would insta buy it, and it's like, and I played through that game like 100 fucking times. And I'm like, oh, on PC, hell yeah, let's go for it. And it's like, I just don't know why they don't do it. Like, I don't know if From doesn't own it. Sony owns Bloodborne, I'm pretty sure. And it's just like that. It's the thing is, it's one of the best like in Sony games, like the best Souls game that's just locked to a system. Same with like Demon Souls, but at least Demon Souls you can emulate that on PC and like get a good. Yeah, you can emulate the original Demon Souls, not the PS5.
Yeah,
one, but the
I'm about
original.
to say, like, I'm like, wait.
No, you can emulate the original, which isn't too far off from the PS. Like the PS5 just has a nicer graphics.
Piracy, what a beautiful, wonderful discussion. Yo ho ho,
Bro,
sailing the one PCs.
Dude, I fucking hate retro gamers and the emulation is piracy argument, and it never stops. Like, so recently, have you guys heard of this like store called DK Oldies?
Yeah, I saw that whole drama. Oh
okay,
my God.
So DK Oldies, like,
store.
so DK Oldies, like, at first, everyone looks at them like, oh, they price their games up really high, right? Like, a lot of retro places do that shit. Like, here's Pokemon Gold for like $300 and a fucking kid me. Please give it to us. Most stores will do that, but they were refurbishing systems that look like they literally were shit inside of. Like, this one channel bought like a PS3 off of them. It was a refurbished PS3. So I'm going to ask you guys, what is your definition of refurbished? Like,
my definition is so dusty, the dust is coming outside of the inside, so that there's like little hairballs coming out of all the cracks.
All right, Afro, what's your definition of refurbished?
Like the best polishing that you could do to something to make it look somewhat decent to what it could best look like, right?
Okay, boys, heads and tails situation right here. Nux is in the fucking right. This shit was caked in fucking like this dude unscrewed the top of the PlayStation 3
and it literally poofed out.
Bro, like he unboxed it, and like, you know when you run your finger across like the 50-year-old car, and it's like the dust isn't even dusty, it's like grimy and watery. That's what the fucking thing looked like. And I'm like, dude, and they weren't selling it for cheap. This was like a $250 like dollar unit. So it's like, bro, you're like, this is not a refurbished system. You got, like, in my opinion, that's a fucking scam, right? Like, you can't just be saying it. Like, oh, but we changed the disk drive. No, but the thing looks like it's still in shit. It looks like it's from Extreme, like what, like the TLC show with like the hoarders and stuff. That's what it looked like. It was disgusting as shit. Absolutely, like you could smell the dust through the fucking screen. And I'm just like, dude, this is like actually the worst. And so when I made the video, I think like I talked about it. I was like, guys, all these games are selling you for like hundreds of dollars, right? Like, just emulate that shit. Like this one game called Soul Hackers, right? It's like a Shin Megami Tensei game. So trying to buy that in the store, $200-$300, right? Like fucking price gouged up the ass. Like, because what happens is like you go to the flea market and they look at the eBay price and they put that on the store shelf. And I'm like, motherfucker, why don't I just buy it off of Amazon myself? Okay, you guys ship to my house. I don't have to fucking get cash and give it to you. Why? So like, I straight up downloaded the fucking ROM. I didn't give a shit. Couldn't buy it legally. I'm like, download the ROM, emulate it, call it a day, play through the fucking game. And like you mentioned that, and like every time you mention emulation, they're like, oh, you're pirating games. I'm like, bro, the game is 40 fucking years old. Okay, they don't sell it anymore. You're not some martyr for like the game company because you gave your fucking money to some reseller. Like, why? It's a video game. At the end of the day, yeah, I'm gonna play it. All right. Yes, I will just emulate it. Like, you meet some people, it's like, I don't know how you can emulate and experience a video game. It just doesn't even feel right. I'm like, I'm sorry there, mister. I need perfect hardware accuracy, okay? I'm just trying to play me.
It doesn't feel right, bro. It's just, there's the feeling about it.
I love that whole thing because, like, it doesn't feel right. I'm like, yeah, it feels better. The game runs at a higher resolution.
You can hear people on Twitter screaming every time you turn it on.
Dude, I like Red Dead Redemption, right? Like, so Red Dead 2, did you all play that game? I liked it.
Yeah.
I did not.
It was great.
So okay, Red Dead 2 is a prequel to Red Dead 1, right? Story-wise. So like if you're a PC gamer, you're like, oh shit, I like Red Dead 2. I finished it. Now I want to play through the next game. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go to the fucking streets and buy an Xbox 360 or like the One or a PlayStation 3 and find the disc and play it at like 540p or something, whatever the fuck? Because I loaded up Red Dead on the original Xbox 360, bro. Let me tell you, times have really changed. Blowing that 360 up to an 80-inch TV, bad fucking idea. So all I did was I took the like disc, I put it into my computer. Bro, runs at 4K, 60, everything. And like they're like, but does it feel right? I'm like, no, it feels better, bro. It runs better. It looks better. Yes, I'm gonna play it this way. What the fuck? And it's just like, I don't know. The retro gaming stuff is so wild to me because it's like in a year, like 2 years, the prices went up so bad that like I used to collect these games, and I'm just like, whatever. Well, why would I waste hundreds of dollars collecting these fucking games now? Like each game now is worth astronomically through the roof. Like even the shitty ones, dude. Like motherfuckers are out there selling Thomas the Tank Engine for Game Boy Advance at like some absurd price. I'm like, bro, no one was buying this game back then, and no one should be buying it now. You know, like some Kirby game for the Game Boy Advance is getting sold like up the ass. I'm like, dog, I know people love Kirby, but like the shit is like Ambien, okay? Shit is like a sleep medication. Like you load that up for like 30 minutes and you're passed out. like the last Kirby game I played was on the Switch. Like the first ones that came out, like the 4-player co-op shit. Passed out within 20 minutes because it was so fucking easy. Like I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna be a little challenging. Nope. You playing a Kirby game, dude. You're playing shit for babies. Passed out immediately.
That is crazy too. Like I remember I was looking at like recently because I found like my DS and stuff like buried in my closet, and I had this one game that I used to play all the time, like a Pokemon Heart Gold. I don't know if you remember that one, like the remake, whatever.
Yeah,
looking at what that goes for now is ridiculous. Like this is not even worth it.
It's funny. It's funny listening to this discussion happen now, like in the gaming sphere, when in the anime community, this discussion happened forever ago, at least 5 years ago, because there are some, every time an anime comes out, it gets licensed by one of the big companies, either Crunchyroll, Netflix. You have some that are on Amazon, right?
Right.
Like Amazon Watch, Prime, whatever it's called. And Disney Plus gets them now. You need a subscription to all of these. So Funimation doesn't really... Okay, it does, but it's usually pairs up with Crunchyroll. Like, usually.
Okay.
Not the point. The point is, it's brutal and crazy difficult to subscribe to every single platform to watch
$60 a month just to watch
$60 a month to watch every anime you want this season. And here's the kicker: a lot of them are not even licensed. There are so many anime that just aren't licensed or fell through the cracks, or they're licensed by Netflix, but for whatever reason, Netflix doesn't have it on, right? So all of those shows, there is literally no way to watch them, and you'll pirate them, and you'll have holier than thou people say, but you're not supporting the animators.
Bro, like, see, dude, that's when I stopped giving a fuck.
Watching on Netflix isn't supporting the animators either.
I stopped giving a fuck when it was like, I'm trying to watch this, like, so this Danganronpa show, right? Like, so this is the only anime that I was like really into. So it's the weirdest anime because like they released it. Absolutely right there, my brother. I stopped watching halfway in. Don't you worry. So like the best part about this anime, so wild. So like they released 2 seasons of it, and you're supposed to watch episode. You're supposed to watch episode 1 from...
Okay, hold on. I really don't want to interrupt you, but they actually released more than 2 seasons of it in the best possible way.
So I'm talking about the third one, right? So like if you play the third game...
They released season 1, then season 3, then season 2. Yeah,
so 3 and 2... This is the future and present arc, right? Is what they call it. So you have to watch You have to watch 1 episode from the present arc, then the future arc, then episode 2 from the present, then episode.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's so annoying.
So it's
insufferable.
So it's ridiculous as shit, right? And I was trying to find this on like those free, like I was like Danganronpa watch free online, right? Like everyone was trying to do that shit, bro. So every site that you go to, malware ridden, okay? And it got so annoying that I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go to Funimation and shit. Now, my ass was like, I'm not paying for no subscription if they're offering a free tier. Bro, they are giving you, like, television amounts of ad... Like, you know, people are like, YouTube
not just
gave
a lot of
double
ads. Oh, God, there are so many issues with it. Not only do they give you a lot of ads, but they don't have everything. They make you need to wait an extra week to watch it, right? Like
dude, I gave up on the whole thing because it's like it did the same anime trope. Like they had one battle that was going on that lasted through 3 fucking episodes, and usually when I'm in like the second episode and the battle doesn't end, I'm like, all right, Alt F4, I'm out of it. I'm gonna read the fucking synopsis. Okay, glad I saved fucking 3 hours of my life. Gonna move on and do something else. This show. But that was like the one time I tried. Like, dude, I committed. I was like, all right, let me get the app on the PS4 and give it a try. Like. It was annoying. I was like, dude, I can't. Like, who releases 2 seasons of a fucking show and expects you to watch episode 1 from 1 season, then like doing it in like this weird Tetris parallel?
Literally insufferable.
It's
like it's not as bad as Tokyo Ghoul though. Tokyo Ghoul is my favorite example of a terrible like release planning situation. Like the way Tokyo Ghoul worked was they released season 1, everyone loved it, it was great, it followed the manga, everyone's happy. They released season 2, which they didn't call season 2, they called Tokyo Ghoul Square Root of A. God knows why. So they released Tokyo Ghoul Root A, and you're like, okay, it's season 2, it continues from the first one, but you see, Root A doesn't follow the manga. It just does its own random stuff.
Okay.
And gets all the way to the end of the story in like 12 episodes, even though it's like hundreds of chapters. Just gets all the way to the end of the story, speed runs it, different characters die, different characters develop in different ways.
Just beelines that shit all the way through.
Makes no sense. It was terrible. Everyone hated it, okay? Here's the fun part. The fun part is, they got so much hate for it, they decided, you know what? We're going to actually follow the manga. So then they made Tokyo Ghoul Season 1. Tokyo Ghoul follows the Tokyo Ghoul story, making believe Season 2 actually followed the manga. So it starts in some future after Season 1, so you have no idea how they got to that point. But Season 2 didn't follow the manga. So it's like, imagine you have a show, they release 12 episodes, they release the next 12 episodes are bad, and then they're like, all right, if those 12 episodes would be good, this is where we'd be up to, and then they just continue from there.
I feel like this is just like, it should be criminal to do that, you know? Like, it's almost feels like some weird deceptive advertising bullshit. This is the problem with like a lot of the anime stuff. Like, I'm sorry, if I need a Wikipedia page to figure out what fucking year this story takes place in,
like
you
as
know?
a guide.
Yeah, right? Like naming schemes are just annoying like that. You know, it's why I love shit like if you're gonna really like, this is why the Fast and the Furious remains the greatest franchise in the world. Okay? They number that shit not chronologically. Okay, like the fast story. Point is, like, if you're gonna watch the movie, you're gonna know which one's the fucking third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. They're not lying to you about it. You know,
okay,
they might be cheeky and say shit like.
Here's the best one. This is the best one. I love this one. There's an anime series called Monogatari, and it's actually great. However, they didn't label them season 1, season 2, season 3, season 4. No. There's Baka Monogatari, Nisa Monogatari, Neko Monogatari, Monogatari second season, Hana Monogatari, Tsuki Monogatari, Owari Monogatari, Koyomi Monogatari, Owari Monogatari 2, Zuko Owari Monogatari. Okay.
You know when people are like, "What's your favorite season of Breaking Bad?" And then it's like, "Oh, third."
So now here's the fun part. They didn't even release it in chronological order of the show. That's why, like, you'll notice it'll have like Baka Monogatari, and then you'll have 3 seasons, and then Baka Monogatari season 2.
They should be sued.
Like, it's not chronological even a little.
They should be fucking sued for that shit. What's one of your favorite animes, Afro? What's like one of your like
Naruto?
Favorite probably Hunter x Hunter.
Hunter x Hunter.
I think that's just remained up there. Hunter x Hunter and Code Geass are like tied. I don't know what's above the other. So
my favorite part of Hunter x Hunter is like I watched a whole episode of it, but not officially. I watched it through XQC. No joke.
Oh no!
The one during that copyright era, I was like, oh, let's see. Oh, Hunter x Hunter. Oh wow, XQC's doing the hard work of finding the free online for me, dude. That's how I watched. Home Alone with my dad this Christmas.
What you just
through someone else?
You pulled up XQC.
I did because we had they had the Twitch app on my home television, and so my dad was over. He's like, because we watch Home Alone every year, so I put on the XQC stream, and like we're just watching Home Alone, and my dad's like, wait, who's that guy in the corner? I'm like, oh, Dad, it's just like what. So this new streaming service came out called Twitch. The only downside is you have to watch it with like one of their hosts. He's like, what? Like,
so the problem.
The whole last movie. There's the whole movie is just XQC reacting occasionally in the corner. My dad's like, wait, who's this guy?
Did you see some guy bought Twitter Blue and he tweeted the entire Shrek 2 movie? This just happened yesterday.
Yeah, some guy quote tweeted it and gave the higher quality rip of it. I was like, what the fuck is this site anymore, dude? That's how I like to watch it. Every year, I really hope to God XQC watches the Home Alone. And I'm gonna have my dad over, and we're gonna watch it together.
The best part of Home Alone is the French guy swearing in the
corner. But like at the end of it, I told my dad, he's like, he was still wondering, he's like, who is that guy? Like, I've never seen him on TV. I'm like, Dad, that's the most popular Canadian I know. I'm like, Dad, that's my favorite Canadian. He's like, from here. He's like, really? He's like, yeah, he's the most famous like Canadian on Twitch. He's like from Quebec. My dad's like, that's that. Like when I showed him the numbers, he's like, that's what's popular on Twitch. wow. He's like, it must be easy. I'm like, no. It's not that. Like, I had to give him the whole history, but I'm like he was so confused. He didn't even know. He wasn't even watching the movie. He was like stuck on XQC. He's like, what is he doing? Like, he's just sitting there watching.
He's eating, bro. Let him eat his food, okay? Why are people watching him eat his food? Dad, don't ask. You're spoiling the movie.
I love that shit, dude. I love it so. Every year is gonna. If he doesn't stream Home Alone every year, I'm gonna actually be sad. I'm gonna like DM him every time. I'm gonna be like, listen, you need to watch this movie. This is how me and my dad watch movies now. I don't like.
You're messing up our bonding.
Yeah, this is literally how me and my dad bond now. We watch XQC just so we can like watch this movie. I had to tell him like Twitch is this new. I'm like, Dad, it's like Netflix, except you just have to watch it with one of their hosts. It's like a party thing. He's like, okay. I'm just glad that we weren't watching Aiden Ross a week ago.
Oh my god.
Like out of nowhere, dude. I would kill like to see like any parent walking by their like son's bedroom. They're like, oh, he's just watching those goofy streamers, and like Aiden Ross just flicks on the porno. Like, wait, maybe I should be focusing on what my kids watch. But then again, you know, tons of parents love to leave their kids on YouTube and let the autoplay sort itself out. So
the parents just like, why can't you be a normal kid and go on Discord and talk to Minecrafters?
You know what? At that point, watching Aiden Ross is a bit safer. Minecraft people be a little weird on the internet, but hey, yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, we've been on for like an hour and a half, man. It's been good shooting the shit with the boys.
I've been having fun.
Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah, it's been a fucking good time, man. I wanted to ask you the whole time, what are those arcades, the cabinets in the back? You got like fighter arcades?
Yeah, so I tried my best to put the high score as high as I can. So when company comes over, if they want, you know, to try to beat me, I can talk shit and be like, you're not doing it, you know?
Are those are those like actual like CRT arcades, or like are they just like LEDs or something?
You know, like 1UP Arcade, how they sell their things? Yeah, that's what that is. So
I was like, man, I kind of wanted to like get one of those. So there's like a guy that's selling one near me. He's got like a whole retro pie in one of them, and I'm like, I've been kind of debating it, just having like an arcade. They're cool. I personally, I want to try to investigate like a proper arcade, because these are cool to an extent, but you know, it's I don't know, like it's good, like there's nothing wrong with it. I can't even say anything like that, but I just it's missing like a little bit more of an authentic feel. Like I can just feel it's missing that, like, you know, you got to have like the bar smoke around you, the pool table, you know, around it.
Like I want to see like the coin slot I can just like press in or put something in there. You know, this is kind of like a imitation of kind of what I used to grow up around, but it's still great. It's damn near like identical to what I'm used to in that regard. So yeah, I'm moving soon, so I was gonna invest in like some of those remember those like hunting arcade machines, whatever, that you would see?
The one with the fucking gun and shit?
Yes. There was one I was eyeballing on eBay, so I was gonna try to get that.
Speaking of like the gun stuff, do you have a VR headset?
Yeah, I do. I have an Oculus.
Have you ever heard of Emu VR?
No, I haven't. What's
okay,
that?
Look into it. You can. I've it's this like emulator tool that like you can play light gun in VR. You can like set up like 9 televisions. Sick. I set up like 9 TVs with like Virtua Cop and shit, and you can like use the one gun and like play like 9 games at once and shit.
That's sick. Yeah. Okay, I'll look into that for
sure. Look into that, man. But anyways, thanks for showing up, brother. You want to plug in socials and everything?
Oh, I mean, AfroSenju. Search it up. You'll find a mystery box of all different type of platforms, but that's pretty much it. Hey, thank you guys for having me. It was awesome. Really fun.
Man. So good to have you, brother. You're a fucking welcome member. If you want to check out Nux Talkie, you can, for brilliant anime reviews and Rule 34 content that's going to absolutely be shadow banned. And if you don't care about quality, you can definitely hit me up at Some Ordinary Gamers. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. This is all of us, and we are out.